Hey, what's up everybody? Rix here with Tech Discovery, and if you love Nexus phones and big screens, you will love the Nexus 6P. We've been using the Nexus 6P for 3 weeks now, and it's time for a review. Let's check this out. So what is the difference between Nexus phones and normal Android phones? Well, every year Google teams up with different manufacturers to make Nexus devices, and this year Google has collaborated with Huawei to build an excellent phone, which is the Nexus 6P. The difference is that Google delivers instant software updates, whereas with other manufacturers you need to wait for the company to tweak it before you can get your hands on it. And waiting times can be 1 to 3 months normally, and in some cases even longer. You can also get stock Android, so that means no skins, bloatware or extra features, just a fluid phone that will run exactly like Google intended, and in my opinion this is one of the best phones of 2015. Google says that P stands for premium, and I completely agree because this phone is absolutely gorgeous. It has an aluminum body with 5.7-inch Quad HD screen, resulting in a pixel density of 515 ppi underneath Gorilla Glass 4. It uses Samsung's latest AMOLED panel, which should have deeper blacks and better looking whites with lots of vivid colors, and when compared to Samsung phones, looks gorgeous. On the back you will also find a 12.3 megapixel camera with a little bump on the camera section, but nothing worrying because I didn't have any issues so far. The reason for the raised bump in the back is because it has the camera module, dual LED flash and laser focus technology for the camera. Underneath the camera you'll have what Google calls Nexus Imprint, which is basically a fingerprint scanner which works really well and is very accurate. It also has an 8 megapixel front-facing camera with 2 front-firing speakers which are loud and crisp. And at 7.3 millimeters thin, the Nexus 6P is a little taller and wider compared to similar phones like the Galaxy Note 4 or the iPhone 6s Plus. Make sure you find a case for the phone because it's also slippery when you hold it in hand due to the aluminium body finish. Going through the specs real quick, the Nexus 6P has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 810 version 2.1 64-bit processor clocked at 2 GHz with Adreno 430 GPU, 3 gigs of RAM and 3 storage options, 32, 64 and 128 GB versions. There is also 3 different color variants: aluminum, graphite and frost white. It has a massive battery at 3450 mAh, non-removable, and has no SD card support, so make your choice wisely because you will be stuck with it. I think the 64 GB version is the sweet spot, but I've chosen the 128 GB version myself just in case I might need the extra storage in the future. The Nexus 6P has a massive battery and has lasted me a full day with mid to strong usage, which involved web browsing, downloading, watching YouTube and movies. It does not have wireless charging, but the battery charge is very quick because of the quick charge technology on the Snapdragon processors. I do prefer quick charge over wireless charging because I'm always on the go and find it more convenient to charge the phone from a wall plug or a battery power packs. So I've been testing this device for 3 weeks now and it's pretty fluid. Games load and play pretty quick and the phone does not heat up much. It has handled every game that I thrown at it, like Asphalt 8, Modern Combat and Real Racing. Also, overall performance is very good, very snappy, and I don't think anyone will have any performance issues with this device. Taking a look at the display on the Nexus 6P, the AMOLED screen is beautiful and I don't see much different compared to other AMOLED screen phones like Samsung. The viewing angles are very bright and full of colors, and I always loved the oversaturated colors that you find on AMOLED screens. So for me, this is a really nice display. Let's talk about some quick features, tips and shortcuts on the Nexus 6P. The first feature is Doze Mode, which was introduced with Marshmallow 6.0. And it detects the phone when it's not getting used for a while or when it's resting on the table or overnight. and it should use very little battery, which should help with the standby time. If your phone is on the table and you pick up the phone to read the notifications, as soon as the phone detects that you've picked it up, it displays the time and notifications that you have received. If you wanted the screen to completely go on, you can click once and the screen will switch on to full color. It's just like a power saving mode, which will help the battery a little bit. Another great feature is to show notification but hide the contents. So you still get notifications, but the contents is hidden, which is great for some privacy in case people look at your screen. To turn this feature on, you open Settings, select Sound and Notification, and scroll down where it says When Device is Locked. And by clicking on it, you will have 3 options available to you. The first option is to show all notifications as normal. The second option is to hide sensitive notification contents, which is the one that I'm using for my notifications. So in order for the notifications to be hidden. And the last option is don't show notifications at all, which will disable your notification. Marshmallow 6.0 update has brought some quick shortcuts as well to Google Now and Camera app launch. On the lock screen, if you swipe from the left, you launch Google Now search, and if you swipe from the right, you can launch the Camera app. There is also a change in the app drawer page where apps are in alphabetical order, and you can use the slider on the right to find apps quicker. Also, a section on the top for frequently and recently used apps, which is very helpful. Another feature that Marshmallow 6.0 brought to us is Google Now on tap, which you can access by pressing and holding the home button, and that will allow Google to search for information based on the current screen that you're on in your phone. This will work on any app or website as well. So you could send movie names, song names, places or restaurants, and it will bring up a card giving a wide range of info which you can use as a shortcut. This feature to me looks in beta because it will not work 100% of the time, but when it does work, it's nice to have some shortcuts information whenever you're searching on the web or something that you received with an SMS or an email. So this feature is rushed a bit, but giving Google some time, I believe that this feature will become very useful in the future. We have to talk about the fingerprint scanner, which Google calls Nexus Imprint. Google's first attempt at fingerprint scanners is amazing. It's very quick to set up and works very fast, very accurate. Also, after using it for some time, I really got used to it, and it has become natural where I pick up the phone from the pocket, and by the time I look at the screen, it's already unlocked and ready to go. It's not as easy when you pick up the phone from a flat surface, such as a table, because it usually takes longer to get the finger around the back, but overall, really satisfied with a fingerprint scanner. Another thing I want to talk about is the front-firing speakers, which are amazing, really loud, crisp, full sound without distortion at high volumes, which makes this awesome for music, videos, speaker calls, alarms, and everything else. Last thing I want to talk about is the camera, where previous Nexus phones have been lacking in the past. Google says that they have improved a lot in the camera department with a new 12.3 megapixel Sony sensor, which should give us better photos and videos while taking advantage of the laser focus technology. There is no optical image stabilization, but Google says that the new sensor is built for camcorders and point-and-shoot cameras, and this is also confirmed by Sony itself. This should give us great pictures, videos when paired with autofocus technology. So first of all, the camera on the Nexus P is pretty good and also better than any other Nexus cameras in the past. The setting menu is very easy and simple to use. You can also quick launch the camera app by double tapping on the power lock button anywhere on the phone, and this works with the phone on and off. The photos are nice and clear with lots of detail, and also the video is stable and balanced without being shaky while recording. Turning HDR+ will improve a lot on pictures and even on dark situations, and in my experience the Nexus 6P performed well. We would have preferred to have some optical image stabilization in the camera, but overall very happy with the camera. This is not the best camera out there, but a lot better than previous Nexus phones and up there with some good top performance manufacturers. So it's really hard for me to pick up a phone as a daily driver, but the Nexus 6P is the best Nexus phone to date and would recommend this to anyone on Android or even to Nexus fans or other people that don't use Android OS. In fact, it's the best Android phone to date. It's got a great design, beautiful screen, awesome camera, very snappy OS, and it's bloat free with very quick updates from Google. All these things together make this phone awesome, and this is my preferred device at the moment and will be for a long time. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and also subscribe to see more videos like this one in the future. You can also check us out on social media and leave any comments or questions down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.